one of the problems that we have in our profession is also that we don't have access to court analytics. There are some court analytics out there that would be very, very helpful to us, but also very expensive. So it's just not feasible for us to do. But we have gone to the states that allow you to do a search of a deep search of their records. We can search for the word inaudible, indiscernible, and it would stun you how often it comes up. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, did we get to everybody's question? I think, Lynn, you had one that you weren't able to ask.
I did, and I think this is a good segue because we've been talking about ASR, and with that translating from a voice recording into text. And in that context, what is catastrophic forgetting? That's a word that's new to me, but I've recently learned about this. And can it be detected when that happens?
Oh, catastrophic forgetting is what happens to me on the weekend, and I get in a lot of trouble from my wife. But seriously, I think, look, I think an IT technical person who's familiar with AI and algorithms and machine learning in particular is probably going to give you a better answer than I will. But my understanding of it is when you're trying to use machine learning, you have to allow the machine to learn. And so you're going to feed it with data, and you're going to apply the algorithm to that data, and it's going to begin to learn from that. It's going to begin to produce results. And then you're going to want to expand that, and then you're going to give it new data. And when you give it the new data, it's possible that it begins to, in effect, forget the old data. It focuses on the new data. And so you run that risk. And you know, I don't know that, I'm not sure I can articulate how it is to detect that or not. My guess is that's only through testing, or when you ask for a result, you get kind of, you know, anomalies in terms of answers. You're not getting the same thing, and so that's what may, you know, that's what may give you the result that you're looking for. But to indicate that there's this kind of lapse in the way that it's supposed to work. But that's my understanding of that condition of an algorithm.
Mr. Lazzarotti, in the case of catastrophic forgetting, if we have transcripts that are generated through automatic speech recognition and transcribed first pass through automatic speech recognition, how would you see, what would your comfort level as an attorney be with what's produced, knowing that different forms of speech recognition have different outcomes, actually put out different words, different transcriptions, some are better than others, and knowing that there's this catastrophic forgetting, in the case that 2-3 years from now, that record needs to be verified for some reason. How in the world would a person go about verifying that that transcription was an accurate transcription?
So I think there are certain market realities that impact this, and cost is a big one, right? And I think I know where you're going, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And here's what I would do if I were litigating cases every day and dealing with this every day. And I would analogize it to, before I went to law school, I was an accountant and used to do audits and try to validate financial statements, right? And procedures to get to the financial statements. And that's what audits are about, right? So in thinking about that, I'm saying to myself, well, if we're going to use a vendor that performs services that are susceptible to things like catastrophic forgetting, or if we're going to use a system that is susceptible to missing words and not capturing certain individuals because of their immutable characteristics, my question is going to be to them, how often do you audit and validate your own system? And what are the results? And I want to see those results. right? So if I'm going to use you as a vendor, what's the service level agreement that we're going to have that shows me that you're going to give me a report that, I mean, if you engage a call center, one of the questions you ask that call center is, I need you to agree that you're going to answer the phone on average within 10 seconds. I need to know that you're going to have the call resolved on average in 2 minutes. I want that agreed to, right? So you want a standard of care. In the same way, if I'm going to contract with a company like this, I want to see an independent audit report that shows that their system under certain tests perform at a certain level. And those are the things I would ask about. And I'd want to see that report semi-annually, right? Maybe they do it annually, but the point is I would negotiate that if I had, if I was a Fortune 50 company and could spend whatever, I would demand that if I were the general counsel doing litigation all over the place. And if I were an association like you, it might be something that I would suggest, or I would draw a comparison to in terms of how you go about measuring your accuracy and the service that you provide, and kind of suggest, there's an unknown with these other services and there are all these concerns. How are they able to validate that? And I think that's how I would go about it.
Thank you.